Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Curious Podcats with me, Doctor Drewcifer, and my co-cat, Richie Lawless.
Yo.
What happened to the meows?
Nah.
No. Well, as promised last week, this week we will be focusing on the curse of the Wizard of Oz. All the dark things, or as many dark things as we are aware of that happened during production. So, word of warning, this is going to be a dark episode, and I will now give a trigger warning in advance that there may be topics that are unsettling for some listeners. Okay, so...
But if you're not a bitch, you should be fine.
Speaking of bitches, I was talking to the witch yesterday, and she told me that you spent this entire past week doing nothing but have a cat nap, a week-long cat nap, and have not prepared for this week at all.
Well, last week was prepared, believe it or not, and that was an absolute shit show. So I'm just going to wing it.
So are you trying to say that you do best when you wing it?
Probably I. Well, it's easier if I just...
Well, there is an old saying about the best laid plans gone to waste. I can't remember the exact wording of the saying, but you get the gist. I think with us having a set topic for this week, how about we get the other things out of the way first, such as word of the week of the Mandela Effect.
Alright.
So I'm going to start off with my word of the week is cacophonous, and that is when it's involving or producing a harsh, discordant mixture of sounds. Basically, a sound that doesn't sound nice, like the sound of slot machines. Cacophonous. And you, Lawless?
Slot machines?
Yeah,
Really? That's a horrible sound.
Well, for some people, yes, it is a horrible sound.
Clearly you haven't won on one then.
Probably that's the worst sound of all because the hype. Well, think about people like me who suffer from tinnitus, or tinnitus, however you want to pronounce it, coupled with the fact I suffer from hyperacusis, so my sense of hearing is amplified.
Bored.
Yes, you would be. The high pitched, loud sound from such machines, especially when you hit the jackpot, it's not just annoying. That can actually be quite painful. So yeah, for some people, it is a really annoying sound, especially when there's a lot of slot machines going off all at the same time.
Right. Fair enough. That's something I would have said. Like, I would have thought the sound of nails down a chalkboard or something, maybe, or
most people would say my snoring, but you find that to be a bit more on the ASMR side.
well, it makes good Minecraft videos for YouTube.
Point of note, he does have a YouTube video of me snoring, which you can find on, was it Fire and Flame 27?
Yeah, Fire and Flame 27 got 101 subs. Not to brag now, but
101. I was gone up by one since the other day. Yeah, got to keep those shorts coming.
did you want a Mandela Effect?
Well, how about your word of the week first?
Oh, coconut. You can eat one.
I'm starting to see a pattern here. Apple, banana, coconut.
Nah, don't say it.
No. Well, who knows? Maybe next week we'll get you a date.
Dickhead.
Yeah, so Mandela Effect.
Mandela Effect. Well, as always, I haven't planned, so this is going to be off the top of my head. Alright, aye. Queen. We are the champions,
Yes.
you know? And it goes... like, right at the end of the song, everyone goes, "We are the champions of the world." Yeah?
Yes.
Apparently that doesn't happen.
What?
Apparently it just ends. Apparently, like, that end bit that everyone sings doesn't really happen.
Okay. That So I think I need to pull up the lyrics for the song. Can't type. Queen, we are the champions. Lyrics.
Might be right at the end.
Yeah, because we are the champions of the world. It's right there in the lyrics.
I've seen videos and stuff. It was as much as I hate him, it was a James Corden, his carpool karaoke.
Right.
And them sang it. Unless it was a different version, but it was actually him who started that. There we go.
Queen, we are the champions of the world. Mandela Effect. How the song will get into fellowships. Isn't that from the? That looks like it's from the Live Aid performance,
I
isn't
don't
it?
know. I don't know if he was wearing a. I don't know if he's wearing a different jacket or something on Live Aid.
Okay, now this person here is claiming that lyric websites and videos no longer include "Of the World" at the ending of the song. Yeah, I've just found the lyrics with "Of the World" at the end, which he's claiming there aren't. Obviously, I don't want to play it in case there's any copyright issues of playing.
You
this
just have to
thing.
take me word for it. I mean, you got to take these with a pinch of salt. They're not always going to be true, you know. That's just what I've heard.
That's definitely a curious one. I have to admit, no, I had not heard that before. That the We Are the Champions had a Mandela Effect attached to it.
Yes. Whether or not it's a different version, or do you know what I mean? Like, maybe he done it live and didn't do it on the album, similar to that. But that's that one for this week.
Oh, what's this? A Reddit post about it. Gotta love the Reddit posts. So apparently, Of the World was not in the original version, but what this Reddit poster is claiming is that Freddie had a tendency to say "Of the World" during live performances.
Yeah.
And that's why there's a Mandela Effect attached, which is what I was beginning to suspect as I was typing things in, and that maybe live performances like Live Aid and what have you would have "Of the World" attached, because that's the version I know is the Live Aid performance, where the studio recorded version might not have had it in for whatever reason. No, so yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one. But I will have to stamp that with debunked.
Fair enough. Oh, and we are having a guest today.
Oh yes, Lenny Henry.
Lenny Henry. Apparently he's on his way. I'm just waiting for a phone call. So that could happen at any time.
At any time.
So we'll get started on the Wizard of Oz.
Yes, the Wizard of Oz. Now, I'm going to jump straight in with something with one of the points you brought up last week. And that was the Tin Man's... Oh.
Sorry, you just kind of, wait. Hello? Hello, mate. Are you on your way, aye? Yeah. Well, there should be metros on. Uh-huh. So there hasn't been any trains. And whereabouts are you? Oh. No, you're in the wrong place. No. The big screen. Uh-huh. That sounds like you're at Times Square, mate. It's nowhere near where we are. Well, yeah, it's fine, no problem. Right, we'll try again next week, or... Yep. Right, bye.
Wait, did you say he's at Times Square?
Yeah, I think you got the wrong train.
The wrong train? He's in New York City? He's in the wrong country?
Train, plane, I wasn't really listening, to be fair.
Oh, you never really listen to anybody.
Right.
You never really listen to anybody. Well, before we crack on with The Wizard of Oz, I would like to say that this episode is brought to you by our Patreon page, which you can find at patreon.com/The Curious Podcats, with the T, the C, and the P capitalised, where you can make a small $5 donation to help support us and get a shout out in future episodes.
Or not. It's up to you.
No, they will. That would be theft if we didn't. So,
just get on with it.
Okay, I'll get on with it. Tin Man, silver paint.
Aye.
Now, you mentioned last week about him being poisoned by the paint, which, he was. But did you know that that actor is not the actor we see in the movie?
Yes.
Yes. The production crew did not believe him when he was having... But what happened originally is that the... wasn't even really paint, they just covered him in pure aluminium dust. And he had a really bad reaction to it. Production staff they didn't believe him when he said he wasn't feeling ill, and he ended up in hospital as a result of it. And they told him if he didn't come back to set he was fired. So he was only to be back at the set when he was intercepted by a very angry nurse, and it was only when the nurse had intercepted him and was quite angry that the production staff actually took him seriously about the fact that he wasn't feeling well and that he had a bad reaction to this aluminium dust. They replaced him.
Yep.
They mixed the aluminium in with something else to cover the new actor. And he still, in the replacement actor, he still suffered from
poisoning, like slight. I don't think he got it as bad.
No, I think the main thing with him was that he got an infection in one of his eyes, which needed medical attention. But I mean that was treatable. That was treatable, so it wasn't any sort of like lasting permanent damage.
The first guy was never the same, I don't think.
And I mean, he ended up with things like muscle ache, body aches, muscle cramps, shortness of breath. I mean, like you said, he was poisoned by the aluminium.
Yeah.
That was Buddy Ebsen, by the way. The guy who replaced him was Jack Haley, which is who we know as the Tin Man. Yeah, like I said, that for Jack Haley, they mixed that aluminium powder in with paste, but he ended up with an eye infection.
I mean, that wasn't the only thing. Do you know the part where it snows and they all fall asleep?
Oh, I know this one.
That is asbestos.
Yes, they had them all lying down in asbestos.
Yeah.
It wasn't snow or fake snow. It was asbestos they were lying down in.
But to be fair, I don't think they knew the danger back then.
Well, no, they didn't. The thing about asbestos poison, the dangers of asbestos didn't come about until later. But given the amount of things that happened on that set, which are clear violators of the health and safety and whatever else, I wouldn't have been surprised if they did know about the dangers of asbestos and still had them lying down in it. But even more with regards to accidents, the Wicked Witch of the West, Margaret Hamilton, in the scene in Munchkinland where she has a fiery exit, she ended up with a 2nd-degree burn on her face and a 3rd-degree burn on her hand because the trapdoor that she was standing on delayed in opening. So when the fire came up, she was supposed to drop down straight away, but she didn't and ended up getting burnt as a result of it. She was in hospital for 6 weeks, and after she recovered and came back, she said she wasn't going to sue them because she knows how business works, and that if she did try to sue them, she'd never get to work again in the filming industry. But she did say that she would return to work on one condition: no more fireworks. What happened? On her first day back on set, she was asked to film the Surrender Dorothy scene, where she would be sitting on the broomstick with the smoke coming out.
Yeah.
Well, the smoke was being produced by fireworks. She said, not a chance. So a stunt double, Betty Danko, she performed the scene instead, and the she got severely burned during the filming of that sequence because the pipe that had the fireworks in on the broom, that pipe exploded
Fuck's sake.
on the third take and caught fire.
Wow.
Yeah.
There's loads of other things as well.
Yeah. Well, the one I'll jump back in. The one about the Munchkin committing suicide. Now, apparently, that has been debunked
Aye, I've seen that.
as having been an exotic bird that had gotten onto set. That's what they're claiming, but given all the other stuff that went wrong,
That's the most normal thing about it. So
I'm more inclined to believe it was actually a dead Munchkin actor. Now, on to the trials and tribulations of Judy Garland.
Oh, she had a hell of a life.
Yeah, now, this is the point where I'm going to say there is for a trigger warning. Now, with Judy Garland, one that you mentioned last week was that she got assaulted.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, she got assaulted in two ways. One, where she was hit, and she was also sexually assaulted.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
She claimed. Now, bear in mind, listeners, Judy Garland was only 16 at the time of this. Now, she claimed that she was sexually assaulted by multiple Munchkin actors, and that she was also groped by Louis B. Mayer, the co-founder of MGM. In addition to that, she was also slapped by Fleming, I think was the director.
Mm-hmm.
What happened is that the scene where Dorothy slaps the cowardly lion and the lion starts crying.
Uh-huh.
Well, apparently, seeing Burt Law, the guy who played the lion, crying while in makeup, kept making her giggle.
Wait.
Fleming didn't like.
Oh yeah, I've heard this.
Fleming was not impressed by the fact that she kept bursting out into fits of giggles. Called cut, went up to her, and just slapped her right across the face, and told her to stop wasting the crew's time and get the scene right. Was there something you were going to say there?
No, just I heard like pretty much the same thing.
And that's just like the tip of the iceberg of things that happened with her.
God, the way I think it was she had an eating disorder as well.
That's right. Yeah, I was
They were
actually
giving her drugs to keep her awake, to put her to sleep.
Yeah, she was on uppers and downers. They put her on they restricted her diet to cigarettes and coffee because,
That's
in
right.
their opinion, she was overweight. To the point where Roy Bolger, who played the Scarecrow, was on a behind-the-scenes feature stating that she wasn't exactly pretty, just plump.
Wow.
Yeah. But she ended up with a drug addiction problem afterwards, and she attempted to commit suicide several times before dying from an accidental overdose on June 22nd of 1969 at the age of 47.
She had a tragic life. Child star. There was another bit with the witch. Do you know there was parts where that had been done that were taken out because they were too scary?
Yes.
Now, I thought it was pretty scary to begin with. Like, especially like when I was a kid. Like, that witch was terrifying.
Oh, yeah.
So can you imagine what they took out?
I dread to think.
Oh, I've got a Mandela Effect as well.
Go on then.
What's the famous line that she says when she lets the monkeys out? The flying monkeys.
Actually, I don't know. It's been that long since I've seen it. or since I've talked to anyone about it.
It was
I can't
something like
remember.
"Fly My Pretties" or something. Or do you remember that?
I remember something about the like "Fly My Pretties" or "Fly My Pretty," but I didn't think it was from the Wizard of Oz. I thought that was something else.
But apparently she doesn't say that. She says, all she says is "fly, fly." So that doesn't even sound right.
Look, I mean, why would you be calling the monkeys our pretties? There's nothing pretty about those monkeys.
She wasn't exactly a lookout, was she?
Well, but even still. No, I remember the line. I just don't remember it being from the Wizard of Oz. You know
The
what?
Simpsons used it.
I'm going to do a Google search. Because, like I said, I do remember that line, just not from... fly my pretty... Fly my pretty... Apparently it's from the Hunchback of Notre Dame.
Really?
Which is ironic, given I've never watched the Hunchback of Notre Dame. So here we go. The Fly My Pretty's Mandela Effect. People think the Wicked Witch of the West sees it.
I'm sure she does.
Let's see what's Fly My Pretty. No, that's about song. There we go. On to Quora. Where did the Fly My Pretty's misquote originate from? So what she says, like you said, is now fly. But where does... yeah, I think what it is people have gotten the Hunchback of Notre Dame and the Wizard of Oz lines mixed up because they are pretty close to each other. Wasn't Hunchback of Notre Dame Disney?
I think so. I've never seen it though. So, but I tell you what does cause a lot of Mandela effects is The Simpsons, because there's a scene where, for some reason, Mr. Burns has got monkeys on roller skates,
Right.
and he goes, "Fly, my pretties," and he throws them out the window, and they just fall.
Right.
So maybe people's seen that and thought it was a piss take of, and maybe it had nothing to do with it.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing with The Simpsons. The Simpsons, we already know that they're able to predict the future.
Next week's show.
What if they're also looking at the Simpsons is looking into parallel universes, and maybe in another universe, instead of saying "now fly, the Wicked Witch of the West did actually say "Fly, my pretties." What? Was that one of my hairbands?
You flung off a pen.
Well, that makes the change from them being dumped all over the carpet like you usually do each week. Well, after every podcast, when you leave, I've got to pick hairbands up from the carpet.
Oh, where is it?
Oh, you snapped this
No,
one!
wait there. It was here a minute ago.
What was?
Your little tiny violin.
You actually brought an instrument with you this week?
No.
No, didn't think so. Shut up. Yeah, so, as I said, parallel universes. Yeah, I think The Simpsons has got a lot more secrets to reveal.
I think we should cover that,
Well,
next week, The Simpsons.
Well, I'll tell you what, I've got a couple of things I want to talk about next week. I'll leave The Simpsons to you.
Right, fair enough.
So there we go. Next week, Lawless will be talking about The Simpsons, and I will be talking about a creature called the pistol shrimp, which got mentioned in the Netflix movie Project Power. And there's also a theory behind the meaning of the words the meaning of the lyrics for Toto's Africa.
Great. It's just on the whole Wizard of Oz thing. Now, apparently, like, after all we've heard today about it, right, and there's probably loads more, but originally it was going to be called Emerald City, but it was considered unlucky to name something after is it a gem? Is it a gemstone or a...
Emeralds or gemstones, yeah.
Because it was considered unlucky. Now, if you ask me, they would have probably been better off calling it Emerald City. From what happened.
Maybe. Oh, no, there is one more thing I want to mention because I've just thought of it now. Now, have you seen the pictures of the new blimp that's being made?
No.
Okay, so, excuse me. Is this the one? Basically, the picture's going around on Facebook of this giant blimp and hangar, but where we used to blimps where they only had like one missile-shaped balloon.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what it's called. This one is like twin ballooned, and because of the angle that the picture was taken at, it looks like ass cheeks.
Hey.
And it's been dubbed as the world's largest
Ass.
aircraft. That would certainly be the world's largest ass as well. Not the solar systems, because that would be Uranus. I heard that. Squeaky chair. Now, everyone's like, yeah, great, awesome, excellent. New blimp, giant blimp, it's going to be fantastic. But not me. Because I'm reminded of something, because I looked into what fuel it is that they're using. And I have to admit, I am quite flabbergasted and shocked.
That's a stupid fucking word, that.
Flabbergasted.
Aye.
I should have had that as a word of the week. They're looking at a possible another Hindenburg disaster. Now, are you familiar with the Hindenburg disaster? Yeah. Now, for those who aren't familiar, the Hindenburg was an airship, blimp, whatever you want to call it. It was a German passenger airship, LZ-129, and it exploded. It was an absolute disaster. 35 people killed, 13 passengers and 22 crewmen, and that was out of 97 people on board. Out of 97.
How the fuck did anyone survive that?
35 died. That is a good question. I mean, you would have expected that everybody died. You know, and I'm trying to remember whether it was I can't remember if it was helium or hydrogen. I think it was hydrogen. But there was, I think it was a spark in the fuel tank.
That wasn't the most practical. I mean, you imagine getting a blimp to go shopping. You'd have to climb up about 1,000 foot to go about a mile to climb down about 1,000 foot, and then you get there and you're like, shit, forgot my money. You know what I mean?
But then how would you have gotten on in the first place to buy the ticket?
No, it's probably free.
No, it would have been free if Indiana Jones was the ticket inspector.
Oh, shut up.
Well, no, because he would have come round, asked for your ticket, you were like, oh, I haven't got one, so he would start beating the crap out of you and then throw it out the window.
Who was that again? Harrison Ford?
Yeah.
No, I'd take him to fight.
You might be able to take whoever it was what we're talking about.
Everyone.
Yeah, but there's no way you would take Harrison Ford.
How old's he?
Old enough to beat your ass.
Fuck off. Oh, do him a favour now. He's got to be about 70 odd. Yeah, fair enough. I've only got the fitness to throw one punch, but if that lands, it probably still won't hurt him. But
I'm still trying to figure out whether it's just helium or hydrogen.
I think it was that was hydrogen. I'm sure it was.
Yeah, I think it was. I think it was hydrogen. Yeah, they said so. It was hydrogen based. It was a hydrogen based fuel, but they're saying that it still would have burned, even if it was filled with helium instead of hydrogen. But this new one is hydrogen based, and all
Well,
I'm
I think
saying.
it's a fucking stupid idea.
So do I. I mean, blimps, airships, yeah, they're fancy and what have you. I would love to fly in one.
Nah, I'm good. Blimps don't have the same effect. It's not like, oh, I've just bought myself a new blimp. I'll come to yours and pick you up, and we'll go cruising.
Well, you could walk to mine faster than you could have got by the time you got the blimp ready.
What makes this I'd pick you up?
I didn't say they were picking me up. I just said you could walk here faster.
Just a massive shadow over the whole town. Oh, he's here.
Oh, it's not a blimp. It's just him.
Fucking dickhead. I think that's kind of it.
Well, yeah, I've got nothing else.
Clearly. Next week we'll have a guest. I think we're going to go with Gordon Ramsay.
Oh,
He's messaged us a few times.
we're going to need a trigger warning for that show, then, with all the swearing that's going to happen.
Well, we'll see. I mean, we haven't had much luck really with the guests so far.
No Elon, no Lenny.
I'm sure next week will be fine.
Fingers crossed. 5th time lucky.
Nice. And on that note,
Didn't we have Joe Rogan lined up one week as well? Or was he a future guest?
he's still in the works.
He's still in the works.
Aye.
He's still in the works. Yeah. Well, so next week, Simpsons from Richie and Toto's Africa and Pistol Shrimp from me. Once again, this episode was brought to you by our Patreon page, which is patreon.com/The Curious Podcats, capital T, capital C, capital P.
Oh, shout out to Neil as well. He's listening to her. I've just remembered.
Oh, well, thanks for listening, Neil. Tune in next week. Until then, it's goodbye from him.
Fucking whatever.
And it's goodbye from me. Goodbye. Podcats.